What do you usually look for in someone when it comes to collabs? Obviously, sticking with friends is safe as bet, but I'm curious on how you handle newer people. Vibe based. Do I get along with them? Check. If I haven't spoken to them yet, right? Assuming we haven't collabed yet, and someone asks for a collab, it's pretty much like I'll only collab with a new person if it's in a group setting and like a friend invites someone new, and I'm usually cool with just about anyone they invite. If it's someone I've never met before, I don't know. Sometimes I'll look at someone's channel first and like check if there are any like crazy red flags, but usually not the case. I usually just trust friends and say, you know, you invite who you want because I can get along with anyone. And then, you know, I just don't like one-on-one collab with someone I've never met off stream typically, or haven't already been in a group collab with. They have GEEGAphobia. It'll never work. That is true. There is a really big epidemic of that. Tons of people being like, man, I wish I could talk to you. And I'm like, what do you mean? And they're like, you're just so busy and scary. And I'm like, what are you saying to me? like when I finally collab with someone, sometimes they'll message me after and they'll be like, oh, we've been following each other for a year and we've never collabed. I'm glad we finally did. And I'm like, you could have asked. You know, you're friends with my friends. I have a vibe of what you're like. You could ask, and they'd be like, oh, well, I just thought you'd hate me. I'm like, why? And they're like, I don't know. And then they start crying and shivering, and I don't know, man. It's always funny. Always funny, man. Why are you airing our laundry? No, Melly, genuinely, everyone does that, though. They all do it to me. I will literally say, like, nice things about them. I'll say nice shit on stream about the person, be like, oh, this person's so nice, so cool. And then they'll be like, I thought you'd never want to talk to me. And I'm like, what do you... Brother, why would I say nice things about you on stream and then be like, fuck that guy, you know? What? Oh, it's funny. No, I think for a lot of people, yeah, I was gonna say maybe it's the directness. I think the directness scares people. I think you and Saruei are quite intimidating. I've just been talking to her a lot off stream recently. And like, she's someone I've just hung out with before, like just calling up offline, you know, just chilling. I love Saru, and I think people are afraid of her because she's French. Literally, that's it. And it's not in their minds that she's French. It's because she acts like a French person. Okay, she's just very direct. And I've talked to her about this because I'm like, I too am direct, okay? And I think people think that we're gonna see them and be like, your shoes are terrible, you know, and like spit on their feet or something. Like, they genuinely think we're gonna like trip them and then cut their legs off because we like don't like their pants. I don't know what it is. I don't know what it is. But the way she types, I see it because I'm similar. She'll type something to me and she'll ask a really direct question, and the way it's worded, I could see how like certain people, especially people online, will read the way it's worded and be like, oh my God, I think this person's like mad, but I just see it as being direct. You know what I mean? But yeah, we both have the same issue of quite blunt, quite forward, quite not afraid of confrontation, because we're both very like, you gotta nip it in the bud, ask now, you know? We're both like that. So I think we both suffer from that, and yeah, thus GEEGAphobia was born. But yeah, she does have that issue. To be fair, she is like that sometimes. Yep, genuinely, my impression of her, though, knowing her outside of streaming too, is she's really sweet. She's really sweet. She's very direct, very blunt. I think she's really sweet and at the same time willing to speak her mind. It's both of those. It's both of those. And I think if you are someone unable to handle that type of directness and bluntness and maybe like some unprompted statement, you might be like, oh God. But I feel like she's the kind of person you can just go toe to toe with and she won't have a problem with that. You know what I mean? She's the type that can dish it and can take it. So it's not really, in my mind, that's not an issue. The only issue is when someone can't take that type of bluntness back, you know? That's really when it's a problem. And you know, she doesn't have that problem. So, I don't know. You said... I knew her before she was... Okay, do you mean knew her as in watched her, or knew her like a real friend? Because that's different. So it's not her being French, she's kind of a little bit mean. No, that's the Frenchness. No, not you, Hootie. The other guy. The other guy. I still think that's Frenchness. A lot of my German friends have the same issue. Same exact issue. I just think she's willing to speak her mind. I think that's what it is. We were in a Discord together. It's just blunt. I think people just need to learn how to deal with people that aren't only ever super sweet and nice to them in the way they speak to them. I think if you can be open about a lot of this stuff and just learn to speak a little more bluntly, you'll find that a lot of people are not actually mean. They're just direct. They're just direct. Because there's a difference between saying something that is blunt and maybe feels a little bad to somebody hearing when you're saying it for a good reason versus when you're like, I'm going to say this to make this person upset, right? Like, those are completely different things. The intent is the biggest factor there. And a lot of people will mistake bluntness and directness with good intent as the opposite, as if the intent was, you know, to cause them to feel the way they feel when they hear it, which is not always the thought in the person's head who's saying it, you know? Know what I mean? But also, I grew up around a lot of really blunt people. And so for me, I think you just have to get used to it. I think it depends on your environment, but you have to get used to being surrounded by people who are saying stuff to you that is very, very direct and forward and blunt. And sometimes, yeah, like brutal is a word I'm going to use, but with good intent. And you kind of get used to like taking people's advice and applying it in certain ways, or going, you know what? I see how other people see me when I do this thing. Let me adjust or whatever. And you learn that getting that kind of feedback from people is a blessing. Having people willing to say these things to you for just your own self-improvement, you know? So for me, I'm more thankful to have people around me that are willing to just say some mean shit that I need to hear, you know? No, I mean, but I think you need to be eased into that. If you're not used to that and getting dropped into that environment, you'll just feel like everyone's yelling at you. You know? People often mistake plainness and directness for indifference. Yeah, depending on the situation. It's easily mistaken. But I find that my European friends don't really misunderstand me much. It's more so a lot of my American friends that are not from the Northeast. They're more likely to misunderstand my intent than my friends from either the American Northeast or EU. Like, every time. Every time. That's always been the case. Texas said, the amount of times I've had to sub out of a mod interaction because I can't say this without being blunt and sounding mean. You know, sometimes when there are mod tickets, someone's having an issue and they describe their issue, I look at it and I'm tempted to get in there and type some shit and be like, brother, shut the hell up. You know, what you are complaining about is in your head, you know, or something like that. But I don't. And I'll usually be like, all right, mods, you got this. And they'll craft a statement that, you know, really tactfully handles that. And I'm very thankful that I have a bunch of mods that can do that. Because there have been sometimes where I read it and I'm like, you're lucky that I don't do all my own, like, tickets and stuff, because I would say some crazy shit. I mean, the thing is, it wouldn't actually be crazy. They just perceive it that way. You know what I mean? I have an underground twink farm. And they just sit there and they just type. And they type and type and type. And we have been training Boris Bottler on them. Yeah, and you know, I don't know if you guys are aware, but it is essentially just the Discord. Sorry to break it to you, but everyone who's in the Discord, you're part of the twink farm.